Disposable Things, written by Ivan Rabbit, corrected by Andrew Lucas. There is one thing in our world that surprised me. There is an abundance of different things around us, and you can see that most of them are made from plastic. Plastic is one around us. We live in a plastic world, really. I am a 48 years old man. I have been living in Russia and I remember that some time ago there was a different environment. I don't know what it was with it in other countries. The period of plastic around us here was at the end of the 70s. I remember that the time and can tell about some funny situations. For example, do you know about ordinary plastic bags? Now they are disposable and ecologists say that they are a big problem for living ecosystem because they can't decompose for decades. I clearly remember times when there were no plastic bags. At the moment when plastic bags appeared here they were very valuable. People saved them, washed them and used them 4 or 5 times even while big hole appeared. And I have pictures in my mind of women hanging plastic bags on the wires together with washed clothes for dyeing. Can you imagine it now? I remember a time when there were no plastic bottles. Can you imagine life without plastic bottles? In those times we used only glass ones. And I remember long queues at points where people can exchange used glass bottles for a little money. If you ask me how small this money was, I can answer one bottle cost 20 копеек. But 100 копеек is 1 ruble. What was it possible to buy with 20 копеек? I have an answer too. I could buy 1 ice cream cone or 1 loaf of bread. And when I was a child, I spent some time finding empty bottles near beer pubs or food stores. It was a child's business in the USSR. I remember how some things were passed down through generations. Among them were razors, pens, and so on. I remember my schoolmate who told me that a bottle for edible oil was given to him from his father and that his father used it for buying oil in the shop too. The oil was brought to the food store in large barrels. If you ask me whether I also bought oil from a barrel, my answer will be yes. I did it too. I use old glass bottles from cheap wine which was given to me by my mother. Up to the end of 70s all German razors were valuable. It's strange, but many of them were saved from the times of World War II. And a German used razor was a fine gift for any man. It was almost a dream. I didn't have that razor. I think you understand that children in the 5 years don't need any razors yet. But I remember that in the city flea market it was possible to buy trusty German razors. In the Moscow there was a big flea market at the Taganskaya station of underground subway. The name of that market was Птичий рынок, bird market, and I don't know why people used this name for an animal market. The bird section was small there, although in that places animal section were dominant. Also there was places with metal hardware, small electric devices, motors, grinding machines, and so on. Sections for selling ceramic dishes, figurines, and so on. It was a strange place in that time, but people liked it because it wasn't like the Soviet shops and it had a semi-legal character. But now I like some disposable things too. I don't know what occurs in your country, but here most of them are produced in China. And I found a strange phenomenon. Disposable things work better than reusable ones. I can say about it about pen and razors. Why? I don't know. I offer to check this idea for you too. I can say that I like fountain pens very much. They are a real find if you write a lot and frequently. Also, for some application, it's recommended to use fountain pens, for example for calligraphy or writing Chinese characters. And because I spent many days learning the China language, I used fountain pen very often. By using AliExpress, I buy many different types of refillable fountain pens. The average price of one unit is $2. The average price of one unit is $2, United States dollars. And what do you think? All of them work normally for the first or second weeks only. The subsequent time was filled with unpleasant surprises. Dry ink when pens aren't used, broken metal nib, carved nib, and so on. Sometimes pens have a low quality plastic body, some have cracks and a rough surface. Also, there was an unpleasant moment. When I began to write something, ink didn't flow immediately, only after some time. It was unpleasant for me because sometimes I must write something immediately. For example, I have to write information during my phone calls. I bought for my wife an expensive German pen Lemmy as a gift for her birthday. The price of it was $150, and I could say that it worked well, except that there was problem with a pale text after writing more 2 hours. But this problem could be solved by adjusting the piston in the ink converter. I don't know. Is it a normal situation for expensive pen? The price, $150, is expensive for me, at least for my engineer salary. And in any case, I hope that it would have worked better. Also, if I had used a cartridge, not a converter for ink, I would not have needed to solve this problem. After some time I found a great solution for the problem. I bought by accident a disposable fountain pen. It worked perfectly, and I learned how to refill it, while I can't say how long I can do it. Though because I'm at the starting point of my experiments, but I can say it's possible to do. In any case, I am very glad. We have the same situation with razors. Yes, I use a disposable razors for a long time for one unit, more than 1 month. Of course, I can't say that I use it as a reusable razor, but at least I do it longer. I would not do it, but it works better than an expensive reusable razor. And blade cartridge for that types of razor are very expensive, $10 for 20 units. But the disposable razor costs $2 for 10. By experiments, I conclude that the optimal quantity of blades heat of razor is 2. If you use a razor with 1 blade, when some moment comes and the blade begins to dull, you feel discomfort. If you will use a hedge with 3 blades, you will have the same problem after some times. And most sets for reusable one has 3 and more blades in the head. I think it's not a coincidence, because manufacturers want people to buy more and more. To increase the life of your disposable razor, all you need is a thin needle to clean the space between the blades and some quantity of soap for clear body fat, which accumulates in that space. It's simple, you can try it too. Also, if you use an expensive reusable razor, it will become obvious that it is actually just a handle filled with a set of cartridges. You pay for a plastic handle. If you say to me that it's complicated and that it's possible to buy new things, I can't answer something definitely to you. I have money for buying them, no problem. But there are 2 problems. Firstly, it's the quality of workmanship of that thing. Secondly, I remember that many years ago people didn't know about disposable things and lived normal lives. My ideas will be supported by ecology activists, and I agree with them absolutely. We must save our Earth as least as we can, and I am doing it by using disposable objects many times. What do you think? What is the situation in your countries? Thank you for your attention.